Come on then. Good boy. Good boy. So with the standing still at the mounting block, Sam, all I do is, he will stand still because I've taught him to, but if he was to move, I would just correct him, wave the rope to get him to go backwards, and he'll back up. And then the object is that I've got a nice big loop in the rope and that he should stand still. What I've taught him to do is to position to the mounting block, and I've done that by use of a cane to encourage him to move his hip over. Once he'd stood still for a few seconds. If he was Louis, I would give him a rub on the forehead to tell him he's a good boy, and that's the right thing to do. And as soon as he's moved, if that's not where you want him, you correct him and put him back, and then just let him find relaxation in the standing still. As I say, Nigel will stand because that's what I've asked him to do, and that's what I've taught him. With regards to when you go to mount, Nigel will position to the mounting block, so if you watch as I get up on the step, he will move his body towards me because that's what I've told him to do. So, and how I've taught him to do that is by using a cane, and just tapping, that's it, good boy, onto the left hip slightly, to position the bottom where I want it. Back, back. Back. Back one. That's it. Come back. Good boy. And because I've given him a wrong signal, he's not quite sure what I'm asking now. So we'll get him to come round. And if I put my cane in the air, he'll move towards me. That's it. One more, buddy. Again. Good boy. And then the object is that he just finds stand. Relaxation there. If he moves, you just reposition him. That's it, good boy. And the object is that he stands nice and still there for you. How I would encourage him to do that is just by giving him a nice bit of love and a stroke and a nice loose rope, and then he knows that that's the right thing to do. And then if I was going to get on him, which I'm not going to do in my decent jeans, but I would put my foot in the stirrup. If he went to move, I would just jump down, just calmly reposition him, get back up the mountain block, just let him relax and find his stand. As you can see, Nigel's just quite happily stood here now with me giving him a little scratch, and he'll pretty much stand there now until I ask him to move. So that's quite cool. I would, if he moved, I'd reposition him, and I would do exactly the same thing again. So if he moved, good boy. If he moved, I would reposition. And then once I was actually on board, I would just encourage him to stand. So if he wanted to move, I'd let him move no more than 2 or 3 steps, and then get him to stand still, and then give him sort of 5-10 seconds or so, and then walk on. So that's how I would approach that bit. Moving on to sort of getting him to find relaxation and sort of keep control of his feet. There's lots of things you can do, but I've just put up 2 buckets in here, and you can do a pattern that basically gets them to change direction. So you lead with an open hand, get them to come round the first. I've not given him enough space really, Nothing to eat, darling, it's dirty feet. So if you lead with your hand and sort of push them round, that's it, get them to come round, and then change direction using a cane, just as an extension of your arm. Lead round, good boy, nothing in it. Good boy, lead round. Good. That's it. Lead round the bucket, good boy. And then change hands. No, no, come here. No, no, that's not helpful, that's it. And then just encourage him forwards, that's it. Good boy. Walk on. That's it, so lead round. And then get him to change direction. The cane is just an extension of my arm. Walk on. I know it's bedtime. Come on, that's it. That's it. And all that's doing, walk on, is just moving the shoulders over. And you'll see as the more he does the pattern, actually, he gets to know what I'm asking. That's it. So we could just change. That's it. And the more he does it, the more you won't actually have to use cane. Go on. You can have a scratch with your mate in a minute. Good boy. That's it. Walk on. And actually, the more he does it, the calmer he gets about it, and you'll see he starts to drop his head and turn a little bit tighter. Good boy, this way. That's it. That's it, walk on. That's it. And all the time I'm doing this with a nice loose rope. Good boy, Nige. Good boy. And you can also do things with encouraging him to stand. So get him to go backwards and forwards. So Nigel's quite light on this, but if you use a cane as the extension of your hand, you can just flick the whip from side to side. That's not the signal that Nigel knows, so I tend to give him a tiny bit of a push to start off with, and then he'll go off point of my finger. And that's it, and then we'll let him stand and find relaxation for 10 to 15 seconds. Then go long on the rope and draw him to you. Good boy. Good boy. And then tell him he's a good lad for doing so. Clever boy. And then back up again. Good boy. And if he gets a bit swift and sort of pulley, what you can do is disengage the hind quarters. So basically all that involves is turning the head towards you and driving the bottom over and away from you. Because if he's pushing his bottom over, he can't run away from you. So again, you do it, everything it's important you do in both directions. So pull his head towards you, push over with the bottom if you need to use your cane. As an extension, that's fine, just touch him on the bottom. And you'll find that actually he sort of comes around towards you and wants to know what you're actually asking him to do. Good boy. Ooh. And then once he gets, with regards to touching, Nigel's learnt touch, so he will have an explore of everything to see whether it's anything he needs to worry about, if it's something he's struggling with, and he doesn't want to approach, we'll go towards it. If he's worried, we'll just go and find something that he's happy with. So a random bucket is always a good one, because they know generally that buckets contain food, and then I'd bring him back to something he was less sure about. Just let him have a snuff and a good time, and tell him well done. I try and use a verbal cue. Good boy, I'm going to put you to bed. I try and use a verbal cue where he's done something well. Just go and say night to your mate then, and have a scratch. I try and use a verbal cue, so if he's done something right, I'll go, I'll go nice, or so he knows that that's the right try, and I reward him for trying things, because if they don't know that they're trying the right way, then they don't actually know that they're doing the right thing. So it's all about sort of encouraging them. Come on then, dude, back to bed. And making it easy for them to do the right thing. Good boy. Hope that helps, love. Talk to you soon. Bye. Say night-night, Auntie Sam.